Well, today, I hope to give everyone the answer to that question. I'm going to provide facts, I'm going to provide opinions, I'm going to provide arguments for these people. Some of them will be pretty straightforward, as I think there'll be no one that disagrees, okay? But today, I want to find the answer of who is the GOAT of every single weight class. Starting off with flyweight. Is there even a discussion that's needed? Okay, the GOAT of flyweight is Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson. Okay, is anyone gonna argue against this? Is anyone gonna say he's not the GOAT of the flyweight weight class? I don't think so. There's literally not an argument that you can make. If you're trying to make an argument, you're just stupid. Reasons why: 11 title defenses, most in UFC history in a row, and a record that is looking to never be beat, especially in the modern era, as it's a lot harder for guys nowadays to stack title defense after title defense as fighters are getting better and better. Okay, so I imagine this record is probably gonna stay. He's gonna stay as the most title defenses in a title reign ever. That's what DJ has. The second reason, he beat everyone he fought at flyweight. And I put flyweight specifically because, you know, he did lose at bantamweight. Because, I mean, he's a small flyweight as it is. So him fighting at bantamweight, he's severely undersized. Okay. Also at bantamweight, he wasn't quite as good yet. He got better over time. I think that's something I think is so interesting about DJ. He's a fighter who never really got into a prime. He just got better constantly. He learned constantly. But yeah, he beat everyone he fought at flyweight. He dominated the division so badly that the UFC were gonna axe it. They were gonna get rid of a division because this guy being so good made the division boring. Okay, this guy just beating everyone with ease made it boring because you didn't care about anyone because you knew they weren't going to beat DJ. So no one cared. This guy was so good the UFC literally nearly got rid of his division. When he did lose the belt, he got robbed. Now, if you have watched that second Henry Cejudo fight, in my opinion, it's a clear DJ win. I think DJ got done very dirty. Obviously, he never got the rematch, but he won that fight, man. And I'm not saying the UFC, pulled a few strings or anything, but I won't throw it out the window. I would not throw that possibility out the window. But yeah, he was so good, and he didn't lose the belt ever, in my opinion. And he has an underrated resume, okay? I'm not saying he has one of the best resumes of all time, but people act like because he was at flyweight, he had such a shit resume, okay? I mean, obviously you got Joseph Benavidez, he was the Robert Whittaker of his division. Okay, he's the Max Holloway the past 5 years of his division. He was always the second guy. You've got Henry Cejudo, John Lineker, who's become a champion and won championship, Horiguchi, who's become a champion in Ryzen. And this is the key thing with DJ. Obviously, a lot of these guys didn't do much in the UFC, but that's because DJ was the roadblock. DJ was in the way of these guys becoming champions. They were always championship quality. Just, they couldn't get past DJ. And that's why you don't remember these guys, because they didn't get past DJ and he dominated for so long that entire era of flyweights were just irrelevant. Okay? Just irrelevant completely. But anyway, now we move to Bantamweight. And Bantamweight's a weird one because it's very subjective. And there's, I think there's about 4 people, you could say. 4 or 5 people. People would argue to go to Bantamweight. But for me, it's Aljamain Sterling. I think Aldo gets a lot of disrespect, man. Okay, and I get it when he played on getting kneed in the head. I understand that. I was very annoyed at the time, but I became a fan of Aldo because of how much he got hated on. Most title defenses in UFC bantamweight history, 3. So he has that record there. Second longest bantamweight win streak, 9, if my memory serves me correct. So he nearly got into double digits. And the only guy above him is Merab. And fuck Merab. Okay, fuck Merab. Fucking prick. Anyway, he has the most impressive and well-rounded resume in bantamweight history. Okay. Peter Yan. TJ Dillashaw's a bit iffy. Okay. TJ Dillashaw's a bit iffy. But you got Peter Yan, former champ. You've got Henry Cejudo, former champ. He beat Henan Perel, former champ. So there's 4 former champs that he has on his resume right there that I've just named in a row. And then he even has some win. Like, bro, he beat Corey Sandhagen. Okay? Like, bro, Aldo was that guy. Okay, don't get it confused. Aldo was that guy at Bantamweight for a while. And like I've said in the 4th point, he has former champs on his resume. And I understand Dominic Cruz is going to get brought up. But bro, I'm so sorry, man. But I'm not one to like drag on like all the fighters and their resume. But like, who did Dominic Cruz beat? Like, bro lost to Cody Garbrandt and beat TJ on a split decision. You know, that's impressive because it was prime TJ Dillashaw. But he beat Uriah Faber. That's definitely a good win. Uriah Faber is definitely a good win. TJ and Uriah are his best wins. And then, if you get rid of that, you know, he lost to Cody Garbrandt. And, you know, since then, I mean, he shouldn't have fought after the Cody fight, in my opinion. He should have never came back. Yeah, he just lost. So, you know, that's obviously not going to help. And yeah, man, just Dominic Cruz should have never came back. His resume, in my opinion, is not comparable to Aldo's. His best win is TJ. He also has another very good win in like I said, Uriah. I guess he has DJ on there as well, but that's a younger DJ, and DJ at Bantamweight very undersized. Aside from that, man, like, I guess he's got some alright names on there. You know, like names that are like, I recognize that guy. But Aldo's resume is so much better. Okay, and he's the Bantamweight GOAT. Straight up, I do not care. Moving on to Featherweight, and I'm gonna rile some feathers here, man. Okay. Controversial. My Featherweight GOAT is Jose, the King of Rio Aldo. Bro, on the next slide, I'll go more in depth of why I think he's over Volk. But 9 title defenses and WEC fucking counts, and I will explain to you why WEC counts. Now, when the UFC absorbed Strikeforce, that's a bit different, because they just took Strikeforce's best talent. When the UFC absorbed the WEC, they like, it's not like new talent got put into new divisions. I mean, like, divisions that were already there. The WEC roster literally just got transferred under the UFC banner. It was the exact same roster. Okay. The 2014 UFC Featherweight division is the exact same as the 2012 WEC division. Exact same divisions. Because WEC was literally a promotion just for those weight classes. This was one of the times ever in the world where a different promotion had the best talent. Because the WEC, the UFC didn't have those fucking divisions, okay? The lowest division was lightweight. And the divisions literally just came under the UFC banner. So exact same division. So yes, title defenses and wins in the WEC count. Okay? Aldo had 7 title wins in the UFC and he had 2 in the WEC. He has 9 title defenses. He has the same as GSP. And I'm not going to hear no different, okay? Anyway, he has 3 former champs on his resume with some of the best contenders that you can find. Okay? Some of the best contenders you'll find. Chad Mendes is literally just the featherweight then version of a Robert Whittaker or Max Holloway that we have now. Could beat anyone but couldn't beat Aldo. Aldo was that one guy that was in the way. And, you know, he has Prime Korean Zombie on there as well. Bro, people underrate Aldo, man. And they think, because it was like 10 years ago. Or however long ago. It's not relevant. Bro, come on now. 15 fight win streak. Yes, I've counted WEC again. UFC just WEC. This guy has the second longest win streak in UFC history. I do not care. I'm an Aldo Glazer, okay? Like, I'll be completely real with that. Aldo Bantamweight title incoming, please. I pray. But yeah, and he should be the youngest champ in UFC history because he won the WEC belt when he was younger than John Jones. John Jones was 23, turning 24. Aldo had just turned 23. Aldo gets robbed of so much shit because it was just under the WEC banner. But let's compare him to Volk. Let's get into this. I'll happily get into this. So first of all, let's get into wins that overlap each other, which is the Korean Zombie and Chad Mendes. Aldo literally beat a younger, better version of the Korean Zombie than Volk did, and he beat a younger, much better version of Chad Mendes. I understand Volk has a win over Aldo, and then people say Aldo wasn't actually that old, he was in his early 30s. Okay, it's the amount of fights that he had. You know, bro, this guy was champion at 23. Okay, this guy was fighting from very young. People age differently, and when you've had so many fights, that shit's gonna add on. And like, bro, if you start at like 25, right, and I think you get my fucking point. My brain just oh shit. My brain just malfunctions. People age differently, wear and tear. You know, it depends on how many fights you've had. You get my point. Now, Volk does have the best win outright in the sense of he has the max wins. 2. I think he lost the second, but he very clearly has 2 max wins. The third one's very impressive, yes. But man, fucking what's his face? Frankie Edgar, when Aldo beat him, is better than a Yair Rodriguez win. It's better than a Brian Ortega win. It's better than a Korean Zombie in 2022 win. You know what I mean? And if you look at Volk before he fought Chad Mendes, his best win was Darren Elkins. Okay, by the way, I love Volk. I just want to clarify, I fucking love Volk. He's going to get his belt back. Trust! But, you know, I think Aldo's better. And then even if we, like, Aldo beat Uriah Faber as well, I'd say Uriah Faber's, like, as a quality of win, it's at least on the same level as an Ortega. I think it's better than a Yair Rodriguez win. Okay, then Chad Mendes as well. Chad Mendes in his prime, it's better than a Brian Ortega win. It's better than a Korean Zombie win. It's better than a Yair Rodriguez win. Okay, if you take away the 2 Holloway wins, right? Aldo has 3 wins, in my opinion, that are better than any other win that Volk has. Straight up. And I love Volk, but Aldo doesn't have the best win out of them because, like I said, that's max. But he has 3 wins that are better than any of other Volk's wins. He had more title defenses, and yeah, he just has a more balanced resume than Volk, and that's the facts, man. Aldo's the featherweight GOAT, undisputed. What I said was all facts. Obviously, you can have your own opinion. Obviously. Like, if you think, I don't think saying Volk is the featherweight GOAT is like ludicrous or anything. I don't think it's a bad thing to say, but I think it's Aldo, and I think I just gave some good reasons. So hopefully I converted someone or something like that. Not like I'm a religious pastor or anything, but you know, here's the hoping. Anyway, now we are on to lightweight. And I've got Khabib, and I first of all want to say I don't have a strong opinion of Khabib being the lightweight GOAT. Islam Makhachev, who I'm going to directly compare in a minute and give reasons why I think Khabib is the lightweight GOAT. I think Islam Makhachev is a very valid pick, and I think it's between them two 100%. I love Benson Henderson. Don't be saying Benson Henderson to me. Don't be saying Frankie Edgar to me. Who the fuck's the other guy that's tied? Don't be saying BJ Penn to me. Don't be saying Charles Oliveira to me. Don't say that. I love Charles, but don't say that. That's ludicrous if you say that. Stop coping. But meets Khabib. Islam Makhachev is a good take. But I have Khabib tied for most defenses, you know, with fucking 4 other people. 13 fight win streak. I think he has the most people shitting Khabib's resume, and rightfully so, because it's not a GOAT case resume. But he has the most well-rounded resume top to bottom. You know, I think Islam has the 2 wins that are better than any of Khabib's wins in Charles and Volk. But, I mean, he got gifted a fucking title shot and he didn't have a natural rise. Where Khabib did. Khabib fought the Edson Barbosas. You know what I'm saying? Khabib has that. Habib had an insane level of dominance throughout his fights, and it seemed he could go forever. Because I think Habib, skill-wise, has a conversation for one of the most skilled like UFC fighters ever, but the accolades just ain't there, man. The accolades just ain't there at all. Now comparing him to Islam Makhachev. Now I've spoken a bit already about how I feel like Habib has a more well-rounded resume, but I think it's the thing where we even look at the performances. I think Islam's a lot less dominant than Habib ever was. Habib, when he got to the top, really had very little struggle. Kind of did well against him, but bro, let's compare Islam's Poirier fight versus Habib's Poirier fight. And also, Dustin was older when he fought Islam, and Habib did miles better. Like, I get that Islam outstruck Dustin, but still, man, that wasn't a pretty performance. Islam got pushed in that fight. Habib didn't really get pushed against Dustin. You know what I mean? So, I think Habib's better, but I think Islam can... I'd say an Armin win would put him over for me. Just break the title defense record. And title defense ain't everything for me personally, but I'd say do that and you're over. I don't think it's a large gap or anything at all. Like I said, I think Islam's a valid pick, but I personally go Habib. Anyway, moving on to welterweight. I'm a Kamaru Usman enjoyer. I'm a Kamaru Usman glazer. I'm a Kamaru Usman defender. But there's no argument here. It's clearly GSP. GSP might go all time. So he's the welterweight GOAT. 13-fight win streak. Okay. Most defenses in UFC welterweight history win 9, which is top 3 all-time defenses anyway. You've got Anderson with 10, DJ with 11, GSP has 9. So he's tied 3rd with Aldo all-time for defenses. He showed great dominance in his performances in the sense of if you were beating GSP at one facet of MMA, he'd beat you at the other. He always shown that he was miles better than his opponents, that he was 10 times better than his opponents. And also his resume is very underrated, okay? You've got Sean Shirk champion, you've got Matt Hughes champion, Matt Serra champion, you got Josh Koscheck, who was a top contender at the time, you got Bisping champion, you've got Diaz champion in Strikeforce, you got Jake Shields champion in Strikeforce, you got Frank Trigg, who was a top contender at the time, you got Karol Parisian, who was also a very good contender at the time. A lot of these people, they're like, at the very worst, the Marvin Vittori's are back then. And if people count like Marvin Vittori's like a good win for Izzy, you better be counting a fucking Frank Trigg as a good win for GSP. Even though actually Frank Trigg's better than like a Vittori win. I know they're not the same weight class, but I'm just saying a point. And he has 6 former champs. I'm gonna think of them in order. Matt Hughes, BJ Penn, Matt Serra. Who's the next one that he beat? Who was the next one? Hendricks? Hendricks is an iffy one, I'll give you that though. Hendricks is an iffy one. He beat Bisping. There's someone else who I'm forgetting. But I know who they are, like 100%. But I'm forgetting and I feel very stupid right now. But yeah, he's beat 6 former champs. It's fucking GSP. Usman defender. Usman glazer. Kamaru Usman is not the welterweight GOAT, okay? It is George St. Pierre. Also beat Carlos Condit, who should have been a champion. Because he got robbed against Robbie Lawler back in the day. But yeah, anyway. Next up we got Anderson Silva, okay? 10 title defenses and should be 11. If you don't know the story, okay? The guy Anderson was going to fight in his first title defense missed weight. So Anderson didn't miss weight. The guy he was fighting missed weight, and that didn't count as a title defense. Anderson should be tied with DJ. He got scammed out of that. He got fucked over. It's not his fault at all. Resume gets a bit too much hate. People will like say, who the fuck is Nate Marquardt? Okay. Bro, these guys were good for the time, you know what I mean? Like, they were top contenders at the time. They were good wins. He has wins over Damian Maia, Charles Sonnen, fucking hell, Rich Franklin. Okay, you know, Forrest Griffin's a good win. That's a champion. He has good wins. You know what I'm saying? But it gets overhated because, like, you know, people don't really know who they are, which is not people's fault. Like I thought, because, bro, some of the defenses, that's not true. I was about to say some of that isn't true, but like, I wasn't even conscious when Anderson was defending his title against certain people. You know what I mean? So, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But it's Anderson. Looked like he was in the Matrix and miles better than anyone else. Every single defense for Anderson was dominant. Some of them might have been boring, but they were dominant. Okay. And he also has the longest reign in UFC history, and I spelled reign wrong. So, well done to me. But next up, we got light heavyweight. Most title defenses in a row for the light heavyweight division. It's John Jones, but I didn't say his name. Had multiple title reigns without losing the belt. And I don't think having multiple title reigns is impressive if you got like knocked the fuck out to lose your original reign. But John didn't. Okay, he lost it via other means, drug tests, running over pregnant women, stuff like that. And he has an insane resume. 7 former champs, maybe the best resume ever. You got people like Lioso, Rashad, Shogun, Rampage. You got Thiago Santos is not decent because that wouldn't age very badly, but you got people like DC, Ovin St. Preux was really good at the time. I'm trying to think who else. You had Ryan Bader went on to be a double champion Bellator. You know, Gustafsson, Vitor, bro. What the fuck is that resume? You know what I mean? Like, that's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Insane resume. He dominated 2 different eras. He dominated the 2000s guys when they were at the end of their prime, right? A lot of them were like early 30s, like 33, 34 at the oldest. And he then dominated the 2010 light heavyweight era overall. You know, the Glovers, Gustafsson, DC. And he made it look easy against most guys. Okay, most guys, it looked easy. Except from like Gus, Reyes, and Santos. It looked easy. He made these guys look stupid. So it's obviously John Jones. Okay. Next up for heavyweight. This is gonna be it's gonna be controversial. It is not Stipe Miocic. It is Francis Ngannou. Stipe being the GOAT heavyweight is the most manufactured thing I've ever heard, and you will understand why in the next slide. He has the best heavyweight resume. Trust me. I'll get into it. But he has the best heavyweight resume. Had the most dominant rise in the heavyweight division ever. And when that failed, he went on another rise. And he dominated guys. He made his opponents look stupid. Knocked them out. And people have been tricked into thinking it's Stipe. Let's get into this real quick. Stipe's best fucking wins, right? His best win ever is the first DC win. The second DC win, the year between the second and third DC fight, totally different DCs. Okay, that third DC win is not the same as the second DC win. The second DC win, all-time great win, okay? But then, if we look at his other best wins, Andrei Arlovski, Junior Dos Santos, Alistair Overeem, and Francis himself. First of all, Francis evened the scales. He did more than even scales. He fucking tipped them in his favour, fucking astronomically. Knocked Stipe the fuck out cold, okay? Then if we look at the people Stipe beat, Andrei Arlovski, Francis beat him a year before that, right? And neither of those wins are like that good, like they're alright. I understand Andrei Arlovski was having a bit of a career resurgence, but bro, it's still like fucking 40-year-old Andrei Arlovski. Then if we look at Overeem, old man Overeem, Junior Dos Santos, right? That would have been a fucking amazing win 6 years before he fought him. Overeem would have been an amazing win 5 years before Stipe fought him. Francis also beat most, like, those two guys at around about the same time. So they even out, okay? They even out. So Francis is even with those best wins, right? He knocked out Andre, he knocked out Dos Santos, and he knocked out Overeem. So all that Stipe has over Francis right now is the DC win. And Francis, to make up for that, has Cyril Gane. Okay. He has Curtis Blades. Jairzinho's a decent win. Kane, I'm not going to count too much, but these are the main ones I want you to look at. Curtis Blades is better than any of those wins that Stipe has at the time he fought them. Cyril Gane is better than any of the wins that Stipe has at the time he fought them. Bro, you're telling me that Francis has all of Stipe's best wins except from 1 and 2 wins that are better than any of Stipe's wins except from 1. Francis is the heavyweight GOAT. It is not Stipe Miocic. Do not get confused. That is man-made by the UFC to try fucking cut out Francis. I'm telling you, if Francis stayed with the UFC, this narrative would have been pushed so much like it should have been. Francis is the heavyweight GOAT. I'm sorry. That's what I think. Hopefully I convert someone. But anyway, that's it with the video, man. That's my goal of every single UFC division. Hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, comment, do all that. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. In a bit.